From Los Angeles, this is Montserrat Radio. You're listening to Montserrat Radio.
Just by having that state of emergency.
That's what that's designed to do, yes. Keep us under martial law.
Which means that when we are located in one of the 10 FEMA regions, I know that F stands for federal, and that's never good. Correct?
Federal Emergency Management Act. That's
which
what
means
FEMA
that
is.
it can become even more martial than it is. If something ever broke out in FEMA Region 2, the military would be at the president's disposal to create a, let's call, lasting peace. Now, couldn't they? Does the military work for us or for them?
Well, I can tell you actually what's been going on with the military, because when former Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel was still senator of Nebraska, I was talking to him about a very powerful analytic tool called a power transition model that was developed in the Department of Defense by Jacek Kugler, who is a political scientist, who was the chair of the political science department at Claremont University in California. And what this model does is it predicts how coalitions will form.
In the spirit of the war against fake news, Montserrat Radio presents The Fake News Show, conspiracy news and a different point of view of current events. And now your host, Benny Wilson.
Good afternoon. Actually good evening. It is 4:09 p.m. Pacific Time. Welcome to the Fake News Show. This is your host, Benny. Today is supposed to be dedicated to my Lord Jesus Christ, to all of you. I wasn't even supposed to broadcast my show, but since I know I'm going to be busy tomorrow and the next day, I figure, well, let me just bring this information to all of you before I get really busy by tomorrow. So, today is going to be a day that, a show that I will explain to you, all of you, what is going on with the financial reset. Exactly what is the financial reset? What's behind all this bullcrap about the financial currency resets, the real value, and why it's been manipulated for more than 25 years, believe it or not. Why it's been manipulated in such a way that up to this day we have private, secret agents of the Cabal. And one of those private secret agents of the Cabal is this lady. Her name is Karen Hughes. She used to be involved in work on the World Bank. So she was a banker. She's also an attorney. And a lot of people have brought to me, to my attention to her. And I always been denying talking about her. And the reason is because you need to understand the mentality. You need to understand what is the mentality behind these people. The mentality behind these people is to basically mislead you into believing things that actually do not exist. The mentality behind the evilness or the devil or the enemy, if you want to call it. Oh, let me just basically mute this. A lot of people are paging me. The reason in the logic, the logic behind these people that talks about these fairy tales and all that is just to mislead you, confuse you, and give you the wrong information. Because if this lady would have been probably giving you the truth and nothing but the truth, to this day, she will not be around. She will be taken off completely. Killed, murder, beheading, etc., etc. But why she's still alive is not because she's a hero, the way a lot of morons over there are portraying her. No, it's the same reason why people like Debbie Schmidt are around. They are part of a Cabal. They are part of a war of information to mislead you and to believe these stuff, because as long as they can control your attention, as long as they can brainwashing you, they have you in control. They can do anything they want from you, especially to reap your money that you are about to exchange. I hope you understand this. The logic, because of these two people, and many of them in the calls of those gurus in the calls, is because they following a pattern of stupidity, a pattern of lies, a pattern of fairy tales. As long they make you believe that there's a family in China so holy that if they do not provide you with the gold and the money. There will be no RB. They got you. They got your attention. They got your praise. They got your trust into these private groups. When these people come out and give you this false information, and they keep giving you this false information for more than a decade, because this has been around for many, like 25 years. If they can actually provide you, if they can actually grab your attention for more than 2 decades, there is no way I can come out and tell you that's a lie, because you're not going to believe it. You've been brainwashed. You see, the CIA, the establishment, they've been working in this strategy, a brainwash strategy, this propaganda for many years, in such a way that without you even know it, you are being brainwashed. You are come to believe that that's exactly the truth. And that's exactly what's happening. Listen, I've been receiving emails all the time. One in particular really caught my attention. It comes from Dinar Gurus, believe it or not. It was an email. And within that email, the contents of the email, it says that they recommend that you people, all of you, read the stupidity, the retarded, the lie, the false of Philip Hilton, the most moron man in the earth. They want you to believe in that lie because he's a liar and he's a false prophet. The devil is a liar. Is a liar, a liar, a liar. And most of the time, the enemy presents themselves with a beautiful face, with a beautiful charisma, with a beautiful state-of-the-art image. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. You see, if they make you believe that crap, and if they make you actually be into those private groups, what you gonna get out of it? You're gonna get out of this deception. Who's the king of the deception? Who is the god of the lies? Who is the false god? Satan. Yes, evilness. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So let me just make it very clear about this lady. That's what I brought her up in this show. She is a secret Cabal agent. She is probably one of the principals, main reasons of the biggest lies in the Netherlands, in the conspiracy world. Okay? Let me tell you about the financial reset. I got her right here in her recording, and I'm just gonna play a little bit. As she been talk, I will pause the recording and I will tell you if that is true or that is not the truth. But before I play her on, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened back in 1995. Back in 1995, there was a meeting between the elite of the army forces, that is, you know, the Army, the Marines, and the Air Force. All the soldiers, they got together. And they got a meeting with, in that time, Bill Clinton. Are you listening? Along in that meeting, there was Russia and China. Yes, you heard it right. Russia and China, they all got together. Within that meeting, there was an agreement. Within that agreement, the agreement was that the Cabal, the Illuminati, the Bilderberg group, they were supposed to let one candidate to become a president. That candidate was supposed to restore the government of the United States and then let Russia and China take over whatever it needs to do regarding the external world's affairs. Meaning they wanted to put aside the United States. Within that agreement, there was a discrepancy, meaning there was not really a mutual agreement, but there was a little discrepancy because they actually wanted to convert the United States as a third world country. So the elite, the new elite, and I'm talking about the new elite, not the old elite, have a formality. They have their own organization. They have people from Russia and China. They have people from the United States. And they have people from Turkey. Okay? They have one guy from Turkey. That's the reason why Turkey was going to be the biggest paying for United States very soon. Watch what I'm saying. So, this is an agreement because as you can see right now, the United States is the biggest country in the biggest powers of the world. Russia and China not even getting together, they cannot defeat us. They cannot defeat us because we are superpower. The only way they can defeat us is by going inside, within our government, within our country. They doing it right now. Yes, they're doing it right now with the biggest mafia in the planet. And that biggest mafia in the planet's name is the Clintons. Yes, the same people who signed that agreement back in 1995. Now the Cabal has surrendered. Now the Cabal is ended. And I have information that beginning next week, there will be indicted a lot of people starting next week, starting Monday, today, Alex Jones reported that. Within those people that are going to be indicted for criminals, for crimes to our Constitution, our nation, meaning treason, and for pedophilia and many other crimes, within that list is Hillary Clinton. Right now, what they're actually dealing in the government is to avoid a possible civil war within the United States. If we got any kind of a political war, and I'm talking about, civil unrest, that will put us, the United States, in the biggest danger in the planet. Why? Because Russia and China are actually waiting to attack us, believe it or not. The first thing that they will do is to nuke us if we have any kind of political uprising in our country. So we cannot afford to have that. So basically, it is a very complex situation right now that is living. It has actually existing and going on in the government. This is the reason many prophets, many pastors, many religious people, leaders, in every single religion are repeating the same thing. Pray for a president. Pray for a president. Because right now, the biggest battle, it is not with the aliens or the family dragon or any other bullcrap you've been listening before. The biggest battle is within our government, because what Donald Trump did when he got into the White House, he actually landed in the nest of the pure garbage, the pure corruption that many years of liberals left in our government. They left a nest full of perverse devil worshippers, pedophilia, pornography, you name it. It's the worst. So right now they are in power. It's not easy to take them out. And this is where basically the biggest miracle will happen, because don't expect to get filthy rich without these people being removed. Don't expect that. Let's use logic. Okay? Let's use the logic. Don't fall for the bullcrap about Danforth being the president of the United States. Because this lady is the one who is basically spreading that crap too. She mixed the truth with false information. And that's how every retard right now are promoting. They're promoting a false information because that's actually, it will capture your attention. Trust me. Listen, my jets know that I have contact with the aliens. This is the first time ever I brought it up. I had met aliens myself. The so-called benevolent people. Never, ever, ever I have brought it up. Probably I brought it out like one time. I didn't want to bring it up today. And the reason why I brought it up right now is to make you understand that I do not use these techniques of calling your attention. I don't need that. Because I have said it in English and in Spanish that the last thing the aliens want is a filthy, corrupt idiot become filthy rich unless they can change your consciousness. So why would they be involved in something without changing you? That doesn't make no sense. Only in the mind, perverted mind of idiots like Hilton. Only in the mind of idiots like David Smith. Only in the mind of perverted criminals like Karen Hughes. Only in the mind of all these perverse idiots that are putting garbage and trash in your mind. That's the biggest lies that I ever heard in my entire life. A lot of people have come to me and say, Benny, what is redemption centers? Why you never talk about redemption centers? Redemption centers. All right, let's take a look about the name redemption. Let's first take a look about what's the meaning of the word redemption. All right, let me Google it. Redemption. The number one definition of the word redemption means the action of saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil. That sounds like my Savior and Lord Jesus Christ. Now, why would the evil use the word redemption? Because that's exactly what he does. He likes to mix the truth with the lies and capture attention, and that's exactly what's happening right now. What is the second definition of the word redemption? The action of regaining or gaining possession or something in exchange for payment or clearing a debt. The redemption center is supposed to be the nicest place to go. Where you actually go, you surrender your currency, they will check your background check, etc., 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 and let you know when you can go all happy back home. Did anybody of these morons told you that these redemption centers are being handled by? No. Are they being handled by a public entity? a government authorized entity. No. So where in the world you going to put yourself going to a secret place, surrender your money, being that that's going to be the only chance you're going to have to actually do something for your own life, and give your money to a complete stranger? You're idiot. This is the reason why I do not answer those questions, because you gotta be the most stupid person in the face of the world, bring it up and say, Benny, where are redemption centers? Why they complicate all this process? The process of exchange are so simple. You go to a bank that is officially known by your government. From that very moment, you are covered under your constitution. You're not covered if you're going to deal with somebody who the government don't know crap about it. You're not. Be so reasonable this time. You got some documents that are legal, right? And you guys have been coming to me saying, "Oh, my documents are legal, Benny. You don't know crap about it." Oh, definitely show me show me those documents. There was one morning who actually showed me those documents. I laughed at his face. I said, "You know what? I'm not a lawyer. Bring it to a lawyer and ask that lawyer, can I bring this up to sue them if they don't pay me?" He will tell you straight up to your face, and he will tell you there is no way you can bring those documents in a court of law. Why? They don't know where they come from. Simple. There you go. That's at your redemption center, my friend. That's the biggest lie they've been putting in your brain. You want more? Let's listen to this lady. I'm going to play you this back. I'm going to show you what's going on. Let's listen to this wonderful, wonderful lady.
It's 90 to 95% accurate. They've been looking at it over, I think, 300 or 400 models, maybe more now. But what this predicts is how coalitions will interact with each other using game theory modeling. And what the power transition model predicted was that there would be a coalition for the rule of law that would counteract the corruption of these banks. And I spoke to Senator Hagel about this model back in 2008. And then when he became Secretary of Defense, I kept writing to him about it because it predicted that the United States was going to lose its allies. And that's what's actually happened. That's why Germany is now joining the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This model predicted that if the United States did not start acting like a country, defending its own interests, if it wouldn't end the state capture of the banking institutions, that we were going to be isolated. And that's actually what the risk is, except that we've been forming a coalition to fight those bankers. And that coalition now exists, and that coalition has actually placed the Federal Reserve and the rest of these private central banks into receivership, because it turns out that those banks owe us more than we owe them under our country debt.
And where does that stand? Are we going to get what we deserve to get from them, or is this going to be in the courts and litigated forever and ever and ever before they have to turn over the resources, the things that they owe us?
It's not going to be in the courts because let's step back a little bit and figure out how it is that these banks owe us more than we owe them. And that's because underneath all of this paper currency, which is just, it's paper, it's not, the only reason the Federal Reserve notes are valuable is because we in the United States are willing to pay taxes to back up these Federal Reserve notes. It's because we recognize them.
Okay, let's talk about that part. Didn't I told you that at Zimbabwe, 87%, right now they changed the numbers, now it is 95%. 95% of the people in Zimbabwe are using cryptocurrencies, are using Bitcoin instead of the dollar and instead of the Zimbabwe. Why are they doing it? Because literally the government is corrupt. They don't want to raise any value to that, to their currency. And now we got news that the Zimbabwe is about to release the new currency. Too late. Too late. Right now, they even talking about it very highly, and experts are talking about that Zimbabwe will get a third economical crisis. The financial reset, my friends, is bigger than you and me. The financial reset is about getting rid of corruption. It may take maybe 5 years or even 10 years for actually complete the whole infrastructure of the new financial reset. So coming to a conclusion, the chances for the Zimbabwe to revalue are basically zero. They have the chance to basically use the gold standard, the gold, the trillions of tons of gold they have, and give and actually release the new currency. About 3 months ago, they didn't do it. They're about to do it right now. And even if they're giving any positive value to that currency, that doesn't mean that your currency values anything. And that's what these morons don't want to tell you that. See, my information are facts. They're not based on fairy tales. They're not based on anything. Did I say that the Zimbabwe is actually floating on the stock market? Yes, I did. I even shocked myself out. I did. But guess what? In that screen doesn't tell you which currency is it. And now they're telling me that the Zimbabwe that I actually saw on the monitor is the Zimbabwe that is about to go out in the market. It is not your Zimbabwe. Welcome to your reality, my friends. Welcome to your reality. Your Zimbabwe is still worthless. That's your intel. Welcome to your reality. Did I kill your dreams? I hope not, because I still believe in miracles. You see? Don't blame me to bring you bad news. Listen, why would you collapse for the truth? Why would you do that? Is it your pride that being hurt? Or your dreams collapsing? Hey, why don't you have a second plan and do the right thing and buy something else? Why would you even put yourself that just because you have a $60 investment, you believe you're going to be a trillionaires or quadrillionaires? That is out of my mind. I don't understand you. I don't. So you did a bad choice. Go on with your life. So you screw it up and you believe that retard. Go on with your life. We do right choices all the time and we do wrong choices all the time. I do it myself. I thought that this currency was going to be big, and guess what? Now it's collapsing. I did it. I screwed it up. Sorry. Oops. I go on with my life. I know God. I don't know the future. So why would you feel bad about this news? You know what I'm saying? So the same reason this lady is telling you that the governments are looking to tax you for a currency. That's the reason why the dollar is so strong, because we are paying too much taxes. And since Donald Trump is going to cut off those taxes, guess what's going to restore the value of the dollar? The gold. The gold. That is why Gene Richards says that Donald Trump is going to sign up that law to save the dollar. Because all these times, since 1970, I believe, we've been backing up our dollar according to our taxes. There has been people, innocent people, going to prison for many years because they have denied to pay taxes. Why would you go to prison when there is no law in the Constitution or any law anywhere that tells you that you are obligated to pay taxes? Why would you do that? Why there has been governments supporting something that is not written in the law? Because we've been living, not working under the Constitution of the United States. That is why. That is why Donald Trump was chosen by God to restore our law, our constitutional law. This lady right here, this stupid lady right here, she's anti-Trump. She calls Trump that she is the same cabal that she belongs to. Really? Tell me, which president in the history of the United States have been attacked by the left and by the right like never before? One. Give me one president. None. That is the reason why I keep telling people, why you bring me this? I don't want to even say the word. But that's really pissed me off. Why you bringing this woman into the question? Why? Let me just play one more time the things that she said. I'm going to tell you exactly how she mixed the truth with the lies, okay? Because that's how evil works. That's how Satan works.
But when you understand what they actually are, we shouldn't be recognizing them. We should have our own honest constitutional money, because the Federal Reserve note is unconstitutional.
Correct.
We were never supposed to have paper currencies like this. We were supposed to have currencies issued by the Congress.
Correct.
Based on precious metals, based on silver, based on gold. And instead, we have paper currency, which in 1971 became detached from the gold. That was when Nixon
Nixon did that.
Yes. And the reason that Nixon did that was because we had the war in Vietnam, and there was all this debt that was piling up, and there was no way that we had enough gold to compensate people.
Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're on with Karen Udis, and ask away.
I feel I'm in a graduate course. I'm almost taking notes as I listen. I'm finding this extremely interesting. But let me make it simple for a minute so I can understand. When Karen says bank card, do you mean credit card? What? I just want some clarification, and then I have another question.
Is it an ATM card? Is it a credit card? Or is it all of the cards?
I'm simply talking about the bank signature card. They want you to give a specimen signature. It may very well be the credit cards, but I don't know that for a fact. I'm basing this on what George Mercier wrote.
Okay, so it's not something. I'm thrilled at what's going on and while I'm watching. I think I should get a certificate of merit, because the information is, we don't hear this, and they don't want us to hear it. Trust me. But before, Chris, I thank you, and I want to say I missed your show a couple weeks ago when you were actually a little bit live,
Oh, okay.
And so welcome back, because I wanted to just missed you on your live shows.
Thank you very much, and we'll be here for the next, 2 months on Tuesday. So by the end of June, you'll be quite sick of me.
No. Not if you keep the quality of guests.
With some value. But they're just manufacturing it out of thin air, and they're keeping the difference between what it costs them to print and the face value of the money. That's called seigniorage. And any president that tried to keep the seigniorage with the American public, in other words, have the Treasury issue the currency, not a private bank, they were murdered. That's what happened to Lincoln. That's what happened to John F. Kennedy.
Do you hear that? They were murdered. That is truth. That is truth. They murdered John F. K. because he went after the bankers. That is truth. What do we have now? Why is it that all of a sudden we are about to see the reset implement, and Donald Trump is releasing the files after JFK? Why is it that right in the time that the law said that needs to be released is the right time for the financial reset? Why? Haven't I been saying that they've been synchronizing? They've been synchronizing. You see that? Okay, so understand why is that she mixed the truth with the lies. Watch when she lied right here. Watch, I'm going to stop it.
10 days after Kennedy signed something called the Green-Hilton Agreement. And let's look at the Green-Hilton Agreement. What was that agreement? There is a trust fund that contains the world's gold monetary reserves. It's called the Global Debt Facility. And when the World Bank and the IMF were created in 1944, the secret reason for them to be created was so after 50 years, the gold was put in a trust fund, a secret trust fund, and it was kept there for 50 years in secrecy. And at the end of the 50 years, the World Bank and the IMF were supposed to decide how that was going to benefit humanity, because that trust fund is for the benefit of humanity.
Okay, so now we know where the gold comes from, isn't it? Now we know where the gold is, isn't it? Now, is that answer the stupid idiot who told you, who's going to pay for this RV? You got to follow the money. I always say you got to follow the money. Remember that idiot? Yeah, that idiot. Did he say that unless the family dragon will pay for this, nobody's going to pay for this reset, for this RV? So where the gold comes from? Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see how these manipulated idiots, they screw things up, they tell the truth, and they mix it with a lot of lies? Watch as she lies afterwards, okay? I'm going to stop it and I'm going to let you know, look, I just told you this. Watch.
And so it's administered by the World Bank and the IMF. And I found out about this global debt facility. I was in the World Bank for 20 years as their lawyer, and I saw that the World Bank was doing crooked things. And I knew it was my job as the lawyer inside the World Bank to stop that corruption. And I also knew, because of this power transition model, that if the corruption did not end, we were going to have a nuclear war in the Middle East. And the likelihood was 90 to 95%.
Did she say nuclear war in the Middle East? Yes, she did. Remember my show yesterday? An hour yesterday, the last show that I did? And didn't I tell you that the establishment is pushing for a World War III? Yes, I did. The establishment is pushing for the World War III. Why? Because they said that the United States, in order to save our dollar, they're willing to go to war with any country, regardless. Okay? Well, we know for a fact, this is no fairy tale, we know for a fact that every single war we have actually fought, it's been because of currency. It's been economic wars. Believe it or not. Even the so-called Japanese World War II was fought because of economic reasons. So you see why God is right now manifesting with His Holy Ghost into all Protestants, because actually it makes a lot of sense. Didn't I tell you that it makes more sense to listen to prophecy than these idiots? Because God is about to change the world. Nobody can. He has said it Himself. Because what I'm going to do in one day what nobody could actually change it in 100 days. He said that I'm going to work marvelous ways. And I'm going to change this because nobody can do it better. That's what He says. So you see, if you put all the pieces together, you'll realize that this is way, way bigger. Nobody can do it by himself, not even Donald Trump. He can't. He's right there in the middle of the nest of the rats, the snakes, all the dragons, everybody, all the pests, all the corruption. That's why they're going to attempt to kill him. Okay? That's why we need to pray for him, so he can be protected. All right? Let's continue to listen to this moron.
And so when I got my statement about the corruption in the World Bank up on the UK Parliament website, and I got 3 statements up there, and my last statement, another whistleblower named Elaine Colville from Scotland also got her statement up. Once that happened, the power transition model predicted that we were going to clean up the corruption. And at the beginning, when I started all of this, I thought I was just talking about corruption inside the World Bank. I was not going to start trying to end world corruption as a lawyer by myself. I would never have started on that. But I did know that as a lawyer inside the World Bank, it was my job, it was my duty to end the corruption inside the World Bank. And I also knew from Jacek Kugler that it was something that could be done. And I also knew that if I didn't do it, there was going to be a nuclear war in the Middle East. And actually, that nuclear war nearly happened. That was Syria. But you can see that we have been actually succeeding in rolling back the banking cartel. Council on International Monetary and Financial Policies. That's chaired by the Secretary of the Treasury. It's got the chairman of the Federal Reserve on it. It's got...
Okay, before I go on, I'm going to try to find the place, the right part of that recording, where the guy, which don't remember his name is, he asked her specifically, for all of you, for all of us, well, we've been told that the dinar is going to revalue. What are your thoughts of that? Watch her answer. Watch her answer. And by the way, this video, I found it exactly in the same place where I Google it. And you're going to play a game with me. Alright? Are you in front of your computer? You're going to play a game with me right after I show what she said about the dinar. Watch what she said. Let me find it right now.
The secretary.
You know, it's amazing, and sometimes it's a matter of semantics. You know, the Federal Reserve note is one thing. It's a matter of semantics.
Are not completely duped by this network of global corporate control.
In the morning.
And then by our politicians.
Have a car.
Word for it that was invented by lawyers. Gobble. And what's actually going on, as I said, is that we do have this gold at our disposal.
They have become rich. Has anything like that ever occurred? See, for speculation and freedoms goes, who do we petition? Who should we really be mad at? Who can we call? Our mayor's not going to do it for us. The senators and the congressmen are in the back pocket of these people.
Hold on, here he comes.
The governor would be the same, no?
What I'm recommending for people to do is to form their own individual networks, kind of like a book club, and get together regularly. And don't just sit and open the newspapers and think that you're going to be reading about what's actually happening, because those media outlets are owned by the bankers. You're being fed propaganda. Much of it is probably lies or
another truth,
manipulating you into being frightened. People should actually not be frightened, because what's happened is that people are now realizing what the actual state of affairs are. Maybe it's not pleasant news, but it's better to know what's really going on than to be completely duped. And so if you have these groups, you can then work together to keep up to date with what's actually going on. And what's actually going on, as I said, is that we do have this gold at our disposal, and we are going to be minting our currency out of it, and we're going to be exchanging the Federal Reserve note, which is worthless, for this valuable golden currency. And the chances that we do this are 90 to 95%.
Before we get off tonight, you and I talked about this. There are a lot of folks out there that have been
here we go
investing in foreign currency, the dinar, the situation in Vietnam. Was it the dong is a situation, yes. And whatnot. What are the dangers of that kind of activity?
Well, the group that's deciding how the currency reset is going to be occurring, that's the Board of Governors of the World Bank and IMF. But we're not likely to have valuable gold currency given to speculators who are trying to make a fast buck. And so most of these people have bought these dinars and dongs for pennies as speculation, thinking that they're going to get rich quick. Well, I would go back to the people that have sold these things to you, and I would demand my money back, because the likelihood that you're going to get rich quick with this speculation is very, very unlikely.
Bingo! What did I tell you? She's an agent of the Cabal. Why is she bringing all these fairy tales, mixing the truth with the lies? Is because that's exactly what they do best. That's what they do best. Mislead you. You see what I'm talking about? That's my point. That's exactly my point. Now, let's go to play the game. Are you in front of your computer? If you're in front of your computer, you're gonna follow my instructions. If you're not, if you're just driving, don't do anything. Just follow my audio, okay? Because I don't want you to have any kind of accident. All right. So just follow my instructions right now. So go to Google right now, please. Go to Google and let me see, where is this? Oh, here we go. Well, go to Google and type RB. You know how to type RB, right? Space redemption centers. Okay? And the first link you're gonna find is the first one, Global Currency Reset and RB News, Galactic Friends. Click on that link and it will take you to this wonderful page. That's the same page where I found the video. It says right here, Galactic Friends. Underneath it says, together, joyfully go creating a spiritual galactic society we can all be proud of. You see that? Okay. Now, take a look at some of the information that you can find in this wonderful world of the Netherlands. Canadian RB Exchange 1-800 number will be posted here. Yeah, sure. For over 25 years we've been waiting for. Yes. Now let me talk about the 800 numbers. Who in the hell told you that banks are basically in coordination with any guru by providing you a number that already exists? Who? These morons told you, didn't they? Right? Yes. These morons told you that there will be a 800 number and everybody will call for an appointment. What have I said about the 800 number? My elite have told me we are still thinking about it. They don't want to give it. They don't want to give the 800 number. So, if they give you 800 number, will be the one that it already exists. There's already 800 numbers, okay? There are already 800 numbers. And guess what they're going to do? This is what they're going to do. Watch and listen to my information, please, before you go chaos and panic. When the rate changes, and everybody going crazy because the rate changes, guess what these gurus are going to do? They're going to copy the same number that has been already there for many years, and then going to deliver and say, go and call your 800 number for your appointment. That's what they're going to do. Now, what makes you think they're going to be ready for you? I'm just giving you a logic question. I'm not been trying to be negative. I'm trying to prepare you for the best and for the worst. If you appreciate my information, if you are an adult enough, you're going to answer that question. You're going to ask that question to yourself. If they give you the number that is already set for many years, and probably is a number that you can also do some other appointments, like for example, I don't know, open a trust or going for investment information and talk to, well, you know, like public banking. That's the same number, 800 number. And you're going to overflow that line with that, can I exchange my dinars? Do you imagine how many millions of people will overflow that number? Can you imagine trying to get online for the number that your guru provided you, that he knows he did not get from the bankers, telling you that that's a specific special number for you to exchange? Guess what's going to happen? Chaos and panic. That's what's coming. That's what's coming. I'm just telling you. Haven't I said that these people don't have crap to talk about it? Haven't I said that unless they listen to me, they come out and invent and basically twist their bull crap and come out with false information? Yes. And I've been accused that, oh no, Benny, the knowledge is not about you, Benny. Nobody cares about you, Benny. Why would they care about you, Benny? Really? So, all this time that I've been giving you 4 days, 3 days, and providing you with this all information, and all of a sudden I see my videos on YouTube with many other calls, and see all these gurus come out with referring my name and my information. It's just fairy tales? Serious? No. They don't have nothing. Especially those people who tell you about the dragon family. They got crap. They invent their BS all the time. They invent everything they tell you all the time. They don't want you to know the truth. There is not one bank that have been telling you, you know what, yeah, my manager and myself, we are thinking about giving you a 800 number. Not one. Not one banker. Not even the elite want to tell me shit. And I say one bad word right now, sorry. They don't want to tell me anything. They don't. That's why you need to prepare for the best and the worst. That's chaos and panic. I have said it on my show. Listen. If you can grab that number and you are able to actually get a line and call for an exchange, an appointment exchange, please provide me with that number. I'll be glad to give it to all of you. Why? Because as long as they haven't tell me, Benny, here's the number, Everything that you get it is false. It's false. Okay? Simple. You need to be prepared, my friends. You need to be prepared. I'm telling you the truth. This is not going to be pretty. All right? We are waiting for something big to happen. It can even happen on the 31st of October. And watch all those idiots saying the same thing. Watch. Because they got nothing. I'm going by the information of God, of their prophets, of by the word of prophecy, because the elite don't want to tell me crap about it. I've been telling you, they've been hiding from me, even from Mario. You got to be prepared for this. This woman just told you that the dinar will not revalue. What did the Benedict told you last time I had on my show? That they're going to create a situation that you will not exchange. Did I put the pieces together? Yes, I did put the pieces together. And this is an old video. They've been designing this chaos and panic since 2007. Do you really think I came out of the nothing and just come out and just say chaos and panic just for out of nothing? No, because I've been repeating for 4 years. I know their plan. I know what they're trying to do. I know how many people are they going to fraud, and still are being attacked for being a liar, for telling you basically anything. I'm not lying. I am proving you every single time that I'm telling you the truth. Be aware that when you get the green light from me, it is not guaranteed that you want to exchange. It is not guaranteed. You know why? Because even if I go to the bank and I exchange myself and I say, okay, can you please tell me if all the banks are basically ready to exchange? And they tell me, yeah, we are ready to exchange. And I only got one bank that are willing to exchange your dinars. If you go to other banks that are not the bank that I'm telling you, you may not be able to exchange. So I gotta really put my ass to work. When I get to have the green light for this bank, I gotta go to another bank and find out, are you exchanging this? And then call on a number and say, are you exchanging this? That's why you need to wait for instructions. You need to wait for instructions. Because you don't want to show up with all the bags of dinars into a place where you're gonna be exposed to all those criminals and rob you, don't you? You don't want to put yourself in that situation, do you? That's the reason what I'm saying. You need to be more smarter than this. Don't let your hungriness to become filthy rich. Don't let your hungriness to become rich overpower your logic. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let that happen to you. You're not only doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your dreams. Second, you're doing it for your family. Third, you're doing it for your kids. Fourth, you're doing it for yourself. Don't let these idiots take possession of your logic and expose you into a big danger. Because we may not have the same danger of all those people going into private groups. We may not have that. But you're still under a very dangerous situation. Because we don't know for sure if all the banks are going to be basically exchanging this currency. So far, I only know about 4 banks. That's it. And I need to call those 4 banks once I go and find out if they are actually exchanging. Why am I doing this? Because I know what they do. I know exactly what they think. I know it. I've been there. I worked for them 20 years. Okay? So don't blame me for being chaotic. Don't blame me for being untrustworthy. Because I know what they look like and I know what they do. Before they come to my side, I know where they come from. I know it. So I hope that this show have shown you the reason behind the financial reset. It is about corruption. It's about the leading all the people that has manipulated your currency, our currency, and your future, and your dreams. They've been manipulating you. They have been destroying the American dream. There is no such a thing as an American dream. They've been promoting that crap for a long time. Oh, what about the American dream? What about it? There is no American dream. It's more difficult these days to buy your own home than any other time in the history of our nation. So don't ask me about what about the American dream. The only American dream I see right now, believe it or not, is that Donald Trump is the devil and the family dragon is the only one giving you what you want. That's the only American dream I see right now. And that for me is a nightmare. That for me is a nightmare. There will be a lot of people being defrauded, especially the people that will go private. Watch. Watch what I'm telling you. So if I'm wrong, fine. I'll be the dumbest guru in the Netherlands. So what? But what about if I'm right? What about if I'm right? And you're still waiting for that call or that email. I just read you one time, last night I read a stupid posting that says that when you get your green light, they're using the same words that I'm using, okay? That show you. When you get the green light, will be by mouth, by word of mouth. Really? So why you publishing is going to be by word of mouth? And how in the freaking fact are you going to reach people that you have no way to bring up your word of mouth? That proves you that the same people who are giving you this intel are idiots. They're irresponsible. They're retarded. How can you basically do a official posting and say that the only way you're going to get your green light is by the word of mouth? Since when electronic posting is considered word of mouth? I'm old school. Word of mouth is my neighbor coming over to me and say, hey, Benny, guess what? Let's go to the bank. That's word of mouth. Not seeing an electronic posting, not in through the email, not in through a phone call. A phone call could be that. It could be a phone call. Do you really think they have the manpower to call each individual in those groups? No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't have the power, the manpower to call everybody and say, hey, psst, psst, let's go and exchange. No, they don't. Use your logic. If you don't see that it's coming a tsunami because basically there's a lot of wind, or if you don't see something really bad happening to you, you are blind, my friend. You are blind. You're not seeing. You are in denial. But my jets, hopefully they will understand my message. Hopefully, in the name of Jesus, you will understand my message. Things are not going to be pretty. Watch. Watch how everything develops. I'm going to bring you the green light when I know that there's at least 4 banks exchanging. And I will tell you, these are the banks. And don't ask me then, Benny, what about I don't have any of those banks in my state? Well, you're going to have to fly. I don't know. I don't have the answer for everything. I don't. What about in Australia? Well, in Australia, look for all the banks, big banks in Australia. What about in Germany? The same thing. What about in Holland? The same thing. You're going to have to do your own research, do the walk, and do the talk. Don't expect me to answer everybody. I got 500,000 people following me right now. What I can tell you is what I can control. I'm doing this by myself. Well, by myself and Mario. We are only 2 people doing all the diligence, going through the places where not many people go through, and gave you this intel to help you. Thank you so much for your attention. Monday is going to be the most busiest day for me. I know that for sure. And Tuesday, oh my God. I hope in the name of my Lord and Savior that Tuesday, celebrating my brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, in their celebration for the 500 year the Protestant manifest against my Catholic Church, will become as a proof that God loves you. And will also be a proof that we in the Catholic Church, we need to restore our church. Yes, I said it. We have a potential false prophet. Yes, I said it. I don't like this Pope I have. And I know I'm not the only Catholic that says so. Would I change my religion? No. I love my religion a lot. The same way I love every one of you. Because Jesus is not about religion. Jesus is about loving Him. And I love Him very much. God bless you, everybody. And let's wait for the best.
Thank you for listening to the Fake News Show with Benny. See you next time for more conspiracy news, current events, and intel from the most controversial show from Montserrat Radio.